Hey guys, this is Basil Microbe. I'm here with my co-host. Go ahead, tell us who you are.
What's going on, Basil Microbe? It's Mark 70. Let's go ahead and do this.
So we are here to take a deep dive and talk about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out on the Netflix. So tell us what you think about it so far, man. What is your ratings?
On the Netflix. All right. What do you call it?
Yes,
Well, you already gave us your score on your quick intro review. I
yes,
gave it a little bit more than you did. I gave it a 3 out of 10. It's still pretty bad. It's a really bad
very
movie.
bad, very bad.
It's a very bad
Yes,
movie.
it's horrible.
I mean, it's watchable. All right. So I'll go over my. This is how I review most of my movies. I have a 10-point scale. It's a pretty easy scale. What do you call it? It's 2 points for 5 different categories. It's what do you call it? 2 points for characters, 2 points for visual effects, 2 points for the story, 2 points for the villain or bad guys, and then overall the runtime. And the runtime kind of gets a bonus based on the type of movie. So if it's like a scary movie or if it's like a movie that requires liquor, then the runtime definitely matters.
Oh God, I mean, I saw this movie and I was like, okay, let's see how they're gonna butcher this up. So I watched the movie, and as I mentioned in my like quick little review that I did, whoever saw it, I gave it 1 out of 10. I thought it was fucking trash. Which by the way, also this was supposed to be a direct sequel from the first one that came out, I believe, in 1974.
Right.
And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, which by the way, in my other review, I say came out 2018. I was very dead wrong. It actually came out in 2013. So sorry about that. I was way off.
Well, what do you call it?
But
It's easy because what do you call it? Remember, there's like so many of these that came out in between them. What do you call it? I think you pulled up the list earlier. There was like a few like sequels, and then there's like a trilogy, and then there's like
yes.
a retcon. Then there's like
Yeah.
a prequel, and then there's like a side story, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's really
Like
confusing. And I've
it
only seen
really
the
is
first one.
confusing. Yeah, it really is confusing. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I believe I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003, which actually was the best one. Aside from the first one, that was actually the second place. And then there was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, which was a prequel to the 2003 version, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, this movie was just horrible. I feel like this movie was targeted towards what, millennials, I believe, was it? What we call it
It's
nowadays?
it's definitely a what do you call it? It definitely tries for the modern generation. It really tries for the modern generation, and it falls very flat. Um,
Yeah.
what do you
And
call
I
it?
mean,
Uh, you know what? Let's go ahead and do a quick. What did you like about it? And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the exact same answer, but go ahead.
yeah, honestly, just the gore, the effects. I love the gore, the blood, the guts. It was just amazing. I'm like, okay, I really like it. Like, as I mentioned in my last review, just turn off your brains and you just want to see freaking Leatherface obliterate everybody, then that's the movie for you. Just turn off your brain. You get to see him do whatever your heart's desires to these
Right,
fucking
right. So
kids.
what do you call it? The 2 points out of three. What do you call it? 1 point for runtime, 2 points for visual effects. There you go.
Right.
That's 3 out of 10. My 3 out of 10. Um. Okay. So let's get into the spoiler details now. What do you call it? We both disliked it. So if you didn't want spoilers, now's the time to leave. If you don't
Yeah.
care, which I recommend you honestly don't care in or after the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's trash.
it's what do you call it? It's they tried to do what they did with the Michael Myers movie that just came out recently on HBO Max.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like they bring back the original survivor, but they completely waste her. You
They
know,
really did waste her. They fucking bitched her out.
and what do you call it? They tried the exact same thing with Lori, where it's like they made her a badass. She's a ranger apparently,
That's
and
yes.
when they introduce her, she's like gutting a pig, and they make like a quick 2 second mention in the movie about there being like wild boars, and like this old 70-year-old lady just finished gutting one like nothing. So like she's a badass, but we don't. That's it. We know she's supposed to be a badass, but it's all show or it's all tell, and she doesn't show it
Yeah. It
except for
was
like
really, yeah,
4 seconds in the end.
it was executed, no pun intended, very poorly. It was very poorly. Like you try to build her up as a badass, you know. And also this was played by a different actress. The original actress actually passed away. I'm not so sure what year. I don't know if it was either like 2019 or 2020 or even last year, 2021. I don't remember exactly. So if you guys remember, feel free to let us know. But they just killed her off like so bad. Like there was a moment in the movie where she had Leatherface where she wants him. Like he's literally sitting down in the bed, phone blown, shotgun, aim at him. And what is the first thing she asks him? Do you remember me? What is my name?
Right.
What is
She
this,
has like
Breaking Bad?
she tries to go for this like closure moment where she's like, "You're gonna remember," but she tries to do the Wanda from Endgame with
Yeah,
Thanos. You
Endgame.
what do you call took everything away from me, and it's like I don't even know who you
I
are,
don't
but
even know who
instead
you
of like
are
right,
exactly. So
instead of like
Leatherface just
answering, he just kind of like walks away. And what do you call it? The original movie came out in 1974, so it's a
74,
really
yes.
old movie. To create a direct sequel to at this point. And let's go back to what you were talking about, where the target audience is like this new, like what is it, Gen X, Gen Z? What are they called now?
Gen X.
The
I don't know. I don't care
generation,
at
the
this
two
point.
generations under us, because I'm
Yes.
technically a millennial, and this movie was not meant for me because I was born in
Not even
'93, and that
96.
puts me like right at the edge, like millennial. So you're technically Gen Z or Gen Y or
Yeah, I
whatever
believe like
comes
around Gen
next.
Z. If I yeah, around Gen
You're
Z
like
era. And
right there on the next step after me. Um,
yeah.
so the beginning of this movie starts off with them. It's a bunch of like they're streamers, I guess. They're like one of them's like
Apparently,
the main two characters. Well, not them. They're none of them are main characters. Let's just get that out of the way. They're just
I
our
mean,
original like five victims
victims.
because they tried to replicate that from the first movie where it's like a group of teens. So our new group of teens it comprises of two
Motivational
like
speakers. I know
they're
one
like
of them was a
speakers, professional streamers. One of them's like a chef.
yeah.
I wrote
Yeah,
it
yeah.
down. That's the only way I can remember these details. So like it's what do you call it? The five characters are it's Leela, which is our final survivor. It's Dante and Melody, which is the cooking. He's a chef, and Melody, the most hated character of the movie. Um, then there's what's her name? There's like one
Wait,
more
that's
girl who's
sad.
like
We can't even remember the guy's wife. It was his, I think his
yeah, it
wife
was
or
his
like
fiance or
his
wife or whatever.
fiance.
She's
That's sad.
totally
We can't even
useless.
bother. Yeah, we can't even bother to freaking say her name.
Right. I'm trying to remember. Like I wrote down her name somewhere, but I don't have it. I guess. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm reading the right notes, right? Yeah. So his initial kill is with like uh, what's her name? I don't even remember her name. Anyways, so again, a lot of the characters are very forgettable, and
Yeah.
if you don't write them down, you really don't care. So they start off the movie with them driving into town. You can see these guys are like total dicks, useless pricks. One of
Right.
them's a school shooting survivor. They make that very clear at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
The two streamers, the fiance, and then that's it. And then they have this weird thing where they're doing with movies where they have like an obvious like red versus blue thing going on where they have like the
Right.
Confederate flag and the other guys are obviously in a electrical car and it's like we're gonna make these guys off
Telsa, if I remember correct. It was a Telsa.
like it's like I think it was like a Tesla or
It was a Telsa. Yeah. Brought to you
something.
by
It had the
Telsa.
autopilot, so
Yeah.
they have the diesel burner and then they have like the electric efficient vehicle or whatever. The guy in the diesel truck is a dick, but at the same time he's a good guy, but he's not that much of a good guy because he has a Confederate flag and all that bullshit that they have to just remember these are times. And honestly, what do you
Yeah.
call it? Those people, okay, they would have been fine if they just did their paperwork the right way because they had no reason to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. They kicked that poor lady out. They
They
would have
screwed
been
over, and
alive.
that's the trigger for Leatherface in this movie. His mom dies of a heart attack
Probably like a
or
heart attack. Yeah.
something because she needs oxygen. Obviously, it's a natural cause. The whole thing could have been completely avoided. And if all Dante, the main guy who's running the operation, All he had to
Right.
do was double check his paperwork and realize, oh shit, this isn't my property. I'm going
Yeah,
home.
right. It's not, and
No.
then like it sucks ass too because the fact that the little story, he goes on the bus to look for the paperwork only to find out it was back in his office. I was like, wow, you look like a bigger douche now. Y'all
Well,
douchebags
no,
for
he
kicking
did.
that
He
lady
didn't even
out.
have anything completed at that point. They, what do you call? He thought it was completed, but it wasn't because when so once they finally get into the house and they start digging around, or they think they own the house, they start digging around. What do you call it? The guy they run into the in the gas station at the beginning of the movie, his name is
Right.
Richter, right? And
Right.
he's like cleaning a gun at the beginning of the movie. He's cleaning like a machine gun, and Leela, our school shooter, comes up and picks it up. She's all like, "Yeah, I'm a school shooter survivor. I don't like
Which
guns, but I'm gonna touch this thing like
Yeah, which confused me. Like, she's a victim of this, school shooting, right? Like, I don't know if she would have some form of maybe PTSD. Like for me, it's like, if you were experienced this traumatic, thing, I wouldn't be nowhere near a gun. I'll be scared if I see a guy holding a gun. You know what I mean? Like for
right,
me, like I will assume it'll be like some type of character buildup, like oh, her avoiding guns at all costs, and then like when the main time comes, she's like, she's gonna finally use that gun, to defend herself, something like that. It'll be nice to see that, but no, like, oh, I'm scared of guns. Let me grab the AR-15 anyways. At least I can,
right. Yeah, the
start.
AR-15. They totally
Yeah,
ruined that later like moment of closure for her where she actually shoots Leatherface with the
yeah,
gun. But like we saw her pick up a gun earlier and just kind of like fuck around with it and get scared.
yeah,
But all of a sudden she like picks it up and she's like, okay, I'm about to die. I can use this. I have to use this. And
yeah,
she does have those weird flashbacks where she's like on the ground lying down next to a Leatherface victim and she remembers her like
right,
her shooting victims and all that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's it's all played off very weird. It doesn't have the weight it should carry. Like we're supposed to care
right.
about this person, but like we don't see her for most of the movie. We're busy following her dick sister the whole time, Melody. The
Melody was horrible.
right. She's like
And
the main. She's the reason why Leatherface's mom gets kicked out of the house. It's just like you're not supposed to be here. She's got that attitude where like I'm right no matter what. When in
yeah,
reality, she has no idea how wrong she is,
and then
and
they
it's
try
what
to make us
ends
feel
it for
bad for
everyone.
her because yeah, and they make us try to feel bad for her because she's like, oh my god, we're actually terrible people. We kicked this old
Right.
lady out. Now we're sending her to
Right.
the hospital. It's like, girl, what do you think was gonna happen? You're kicking out a 70, 80-year-old lady out of her home who told you who had paperwork, you
Right,
know.
for just a clerical error. And like again it just, oh my god. But she did get the most interesting like victim arc is what I'm going to call it, because like she was the one who was hiding the whole time while Leatherface got all the best kills right in front of her. Like when
Yeah,
Richter found out about um about her
Dante.
mother, about
Oh,
Leatherface's mother's death. He's all
right.
like, "Oh shit, he's Leatherface. Damn, I better get everyone out of here." He tries to be the hero, you know. So
Yeah,
he's got like a bit of a redemption arc. That ends up
yeah.
just getting him killed. But he did have
Yeah,
the best
yeah,
fight.
it literally got him. Like he put up a fight. I'll tell you that he
Yeah,
did put up a decent little fight, but it really didn't last too long. I was like, damn, at least have him die like
it was
halfway through the end.
it was a really dumb death because he like so he's got Leatherface pinned to a window, and all the windows have
Yeah,
like the metal bars on the window or whatever,
right.
and he's got him pinned. And instead of like finishing him off, he like hesitates, and Leatherface manages to throw him into a small sliver of grass or glass in
Glad.
the
Yeah,
window, and that's what helps him kill him. Like
yeah.
he
I was like,
stabs him
come
with the glass.
on.
He's like, "Oh shit, you cut me with a small piece of window." And Leatherface
Right.
grabs a hammer and smashes his face in, which we have seen him do that before. So I
Yes.
guess it's just like a callback to an older movie.
Yeah, probably like in the beginning, from the original 1974, he just like knocked somebody out with a hammer,
Right,
and
right, where
like,
he's got the whole hammer thing, and like the
yeah,
chainsaw is behind a wall. This is before he gets the chainsaw too.
yeah, yeah, and it was like I was just like, how long were you hiding that chainsaw for?
Right.
And then like another thing that kind of confused me about the movie. So this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the first one or whatever. What I don't get is why is Leatherface in a orphanage? He was already he was already an adult in the original movie. Like, why would he be in an orphanage? Did something like adopt him? Like, I never understood that concept. What was the point of him being in the orphanage? You know?
Right, and like what happened? Because I thought like the whole town was in on it in the first movie. You know,
No,
like
I know.
the cops were part of it, and like even the store owner was in on it.
I think it might
Um,
be.
and
Yeah,
he
I
had like
think.
siblings that were also in on it too, because he wasn't alone. It was like a group of cannibals.
Yeah, and I think in the first movie, I think in the 2003 movie as well, they talked about that too. They actually also had like a couple of people in the town who were a part of that group, you know. But right here, I don't know. There was actually nobody in on it at all. If you think about it, like nobody else was really involved. There was literally just Leatherface and poor grandma.
Right, like literally everyone in town, including the two cops that were killed off pretty early in the movie, they were all like legitimately wondering what happened to Leatherface this whole time. Like he legitimately got away from them. They were pretty serious about it because I guess that's why their town went to shit because like the town that we're trying to buy honestly was garbage. It was
It really was
complete
garbage.
ghost
Like,
dust town, you know.
and
And what do you call like the bus they drove in? I was getting like Nazi zombie vibes. I don't know if you ever played that map where
yeah,
you're like
Nazi zombie
riding the bus around and there's just a bunch of zombies chasing after you. That's
leaving your
literally
friend
what I thought it
behind.
was. I thought it was a copy of that map. And they just said, you know what? We're gonna shoot this movie in that town from zombies, one with the bus. You remember that sound? That's how.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I just remember you leaving your buddy behind. You just, all right, I'm gonna leave you
Yeah.
behind. Bye. You're like, oh, damn. Okay, cool. I'm gonna
Oh
die.
man.
Nice,
So what do you
thanks.
call let's talk about the kills. Which one? Um so we know that everyone dies except for Leela, our school shooter that we're all supposed to feel bad for,
Right.
because pity, I guess. I don't know.
I guess
They
pity,
needed one character to be redeemed, right?
I
Um,
guess, obviously, I'm gonna be honest with you. For those who've seen the film, we all know which I'm gonna talk about, the bus scene.
yeah,
The bus
that's
scene.
the number one.
And
That's the
it's
number
the
one.
most idiotic damn scene ever, if you ask me. Like, you have a bunch of people, right? You see a huge guy walk in there with a massive chainsaw full of blood. My first reaction isn't, I'm gonna pull out my phone and record you.
I'm gonna
My reaction,
cancel you. They specifically
yeah,
tell you,
like do
you
anything will
try
cancel you,
something,
bro.
I cancel you. Like, bro, there's no internet out here. There's literally nothing out
Yeah.
here.
How did they get Wi-Fi? Like, do they have a Wi-Fi router somewhere that they does the bus have
Right,
Wi-Fi?
right. I'm like, what do you call it? In my town? I lose signal like every few blocks. I can barely imagine the middle of Texas in like a town with no
Yeah.
towers. Like, what's going
Yeah,
on
how do
here?
you get all of that? And then it's just ridiculous. I'm like, bro, why are you like even trying to record this? I would like ran my ass into the bathroom or something, try to survive. I ain't gonna pull out my phone, like, yo, look at this.
You know
And
what's
I
even
was
weird
just,
about now that you mentioned that? That's like the common sense thing, which makes sense why only two people did that. You know,
yeah,
like our two main characters, Leela and Melody, they ran straight to the bathroom and they're just like, we're gonna die, and for whatever reason, there's an emergency hatch. It's in the roof of that bathroom
yeah,
that it's like we're gonna escape. What do you call it? One other thing about that bus scene, like the second kill of the bus scene was like the main banker who like tries to escape out the window and she just gets
oh
diced
yeah, that
right
was
off the edge of the window. That was
beautiful.
that was pretty sick.
It was, yeah, that was great.
And like one other thing that like made no sense is like, okay, I get it. There's like the 15 of us are literally just or like 30 some odd people or just a small group. Like we're all
Right.
here to buy this town. We all have money, but like none of these people think, okay, this guy's chainsawing through one person while one person is dying. Let's all 20 of us rush him.
Yeah, I think somebody I
No,
think I
let's just
watched,
try to
yeah,
panic and run nowhere because we're in a bus and
right. I
just wait for our turn to die. It's like the group
right,
of
like I
dumbest
think
NPCs on the planet.
yeah. I think I believe if I remember Angry Joe actually did say that, it's like, why didn't nobody try to rush him or anything when he was just standing there with the chainsaw? Because I'm not so sure if he had the chainsaw on. Was the chainsaw off when he got in the bus, or was it on?
Right. Oh my God. That chainsaw had like a silencer on it because
Yeah.
he can like, if you've ever used a real chainsaw, what do you call it? You know, those things are loud, like at all
Yeah.
times. You know, I mean, there's some that you can, I guess you can shut off the chain rotation, but the actual
Right.
motor's still like pumping,
So you
you know,
should be able to hear it.
those things are loud. But this guy's chainsaw was so quiet, he could hear people like squeaking in the bathroom, you know,
Yeah.
which made no sense to me. It's like, okay, what do you call it? Melody and Leela are gonna escape through the window. How is he gonna hear them over the chainsaw? No, he's got like super hearing or something because it's like my
Yeah.
chainsaw so loud. Wait a minute, what's that noise over
Yeah.
there? I heard
And then
something
the
quiet.
thing about this movie, like they since you mentioned the Halloween movie, they try to make Leatherface supernatural as well. If you think about
Yep.
it, like he's got shot so many times. Where it's like, dude, you're a regular human being. You should literally be like dead or like limping at
Right.
least. How are
Right.
you
They
still
again
alive?
with the whole like, well, he's a psycho killer. He's magic somehow.
He's
You know,
magic.
he can take a shotgun shell to the chest. He can take an AR-15 to the shoulder, I guess. And what do you call it? What was that whole ending fight between him and Melody where she just kind of like jacks him, uppercuts him with the
Yo, you
chainsaw?
have
And
no idea how
oh, like
pissed I was when I saw
okay,
that.
that's
Like
what.
you uppercutting this dude, like you have a chainsaw. You should like kill this dude automatically, like fucking cut his limbs off something.
Right,
Why are you
just like
uppercutting him?
just
Like you know
what?
what? This
Yeah,
girl
just
deserves to
chain
freaking
straight down. No uppercut. He's out.
uppercut. Yeah, you know what? At that time, I was just looking at Melody. Melody, you deserve to fucking die.
You know,
You
and what do you call it?
deserve that.
Everyone and her when honestly when she died, it was kind of like it kind of pissed me off because it's just like there's what none of he should not be alive. They needed an excuse for him to somehow finish the movie doing his chainsaw dance.
Yeah,
He
like
needed an
yeah,
excuse.
like
He's gonna do the chainsaw
yeah,
dance.
like I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny though when he cut
Yeah,
her head
no,
off while she was screaming. I started to laugh. I was like, that was freaking hilarious, but it was
yeah, it
satisfying.
was played
I
off
know it
too
sounds
funny.
horrible. You know, it sounds horrible, but it was satisfying. It's like you got what you deserve, literally.
Yeah, yeah, no, nobody
And
liked you to
then
begin with. You're not supposed to be here, and you thought you were right when in reality you were just dead wrong. Now you're just dead.
yeah, and then the funny thing about this is I think when Leatherface was close to killing Melody in the car, Layla comes out saying like, "Hey, Leatherfuck," and it has the AR-15. And the moment she tries to shoot, there's no ammo in it. I was like, "Girl,
Right,
you
right. Like
saw him
her
earlier in
gun
the movie."
jammed again or something. It's just
Yeah, like on top of that, like earlier in the movie, what was the guy's name? Richter, you said?
yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
Richter.
he took out the ammo. He legit took out the clip and put it on the table or something. Like, how do you not remember that? Like, unless it's because you were running scared, I guess, that could also be, an excuse. Like, you're running scared, it was like in the heat of the moment. Like, oh, I see a weapon, need to defend myself. But it's like,
What do you call it?
damn.
If I ever find it again, or if I ever bother to check it out again, what do you call it? I think she actually had the ammo on because like she was holding on to the the grip and the actual magazine. I think it was just like jammed, or what do you call it? She probably had the
Really?
safety on, which is more likely what it was. Um, because yeah, we did see Richter take it apart and put it back together in front of Leela, so she should have at least remembered
Oh,
that
right, right,
much.
right. He did. He
Um,
did.
but I guess it was just like some throwaway line. There's some throwaway piece so she could pick up uh, what's her name,
Gun.
Hardesty's shotgun. She has
Yeah.
like that Legend of Zelda moment where it's like it's dangerous to go out there, take this with you, you know. After
Yeah.
after she finished getting her entire, stomach and abdominal section removed with a chainsaw and then getting, you know, Michael
Yeah.
Myers up into the air. She had energy.
Exactly.
She had energy to what do you call it? Come back for one shot and hand off her
Exactly.
weapon
You
and
should have
then
been
die.
dead.
Like no, not
Yeah.
possible. Your insides
Yeah,
are
you should
gone.
have
Your
been like
lungs are gone. Your heart is gone. Your stomach is
literally
gone. Every intestine is gone.
you're dead. Exactly. Like you're dead. You're finished. You should not be coming back. And it was just horrible what they did with Sally's character. Have her like
Yeah.
don't have her die nerf, die like easy. Have her put up a fight at least something. You
Right. Her
know?
fight was a staring contest most of the time. She's just yelling at him and she shoots him like 3 times, but she ends
Yeah.
up like the whole time she can't like step back and shoot. She can't move and shoot. She just
Yeah,
straight
she
up
just
gets
did the wrong
rhinoed with a
position.
chainsaw. Like I thought she was a
Yeah.
badass. I thought she was,
Yeah,
a
she's a
enraged
Texas
victim.
Ranger. When you're a Texas
Right,
Ranger, you
right.
should
You're a
like know
ranger
these
for
type
Christ's
of
sake. You can't
things.
dodge.
Someone didn't pay attention to Patches All Houlihan's duck, dodge, dip, and dive.
No.
I
I
guess
don't
she didn't
know.
learn.
Oh
Yeah, it
my
was
god.
horrible. Like, why? It was just like at the end of the movie, I was just like, this was trash. Why do
Yeah.
this? I don't know. I don't know if I remember correctly. They are making apparently another movie, like just focused on his actual origins, not the other Leatherface movie, but the other one. I'm not so sure if if that's the same one or a different one, but I don't know, man. They should just stop at this point, man. Leave the original alone. Um, and then
Well,
they
they
should
got to
do
make
like
their money somehow, and they're not gonna make anything original, so they're gonna sequel it, or they're at this point, honestly, I think they're gonna reboot it again.
you think
Um,
so?
I there's no safe way to go at this point. They've tried it all with this franchise.
Yeah, but oh god.
They're
And
just
like
trying to
for
keep it
once,
alive.
would it be nice to finally see like Leatherface go down, like finally killing him off, having the franchise end on some type of good note, man. Like let the franchise end already. Let it end.
Well, unfortunately, nothing ends anymore. That's everything has
Apparently
gone now.
not.
And what do you call it? That's a totally separate subject. But it's
It was, yeah.
there's
Although
like what is it? So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. There's like nine movies out.
oh
So
wow, 9 movies. That's a
actually no,
lot.
some of these are weird. One no, that's the one you were talking about earlier. But there's like
Yeah, that's
eight of these
the
Texas Chainsaw movies that are all connected with the same story. Uh,
yeah, it's just so weird. And it's funny because in some of the movies, I believe it was the 2003 one, they show the original actress who played the original survivor in the first movie in that movie. So to connect with the original. So I was like, okay, that was a nice homage to like, the early film. But in
hmm.
this one, there was like, I don't know, there was nothing redeeming. All the characters are unlikable. Leatherface was pretty good with the kills. The story was just horrible. It was all over the place. So it's
Yeah,
like,
no, it was too weak as a standalone movie. It was just
yeah, like
well,
just
that honestly, I think that's the only reason why they made it a sequel to the original because it's just like we need to get everyone as much as possible to come check it out. But it
yeah,
just if it was a standalone, it would be even worse. And as a direct sequel with a retcon and basically
yeah.
a canceling of everything that they thought was bad, it just ended up going nowhere.
Well, I mean, one positive thing I can say, they didn't put it in theaters.
This is true. Yeah, for a streaming movie, you know what? You can't go wrong. It's like 7 cents
Yeah,
out of your monthly stream just to watch it. So
I feel like I mentioned in my last review, this movie I would watch if I was drunk with friends. Like take a shot each time. Leatherface kills. Yeah, I'll see you in the ER room, guys.
right, just wait till the bus scene and everyone's trashed.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be trash. Take a shot for
Everyone's
each person
trash.
he kills.
Just like straight down a bottle.
Yeah, take a shot each time Melody feels bad for doing something. Yeah, that'll be
Every
a
time she
great
says you
drinking.
shouldn't be here.
Yes, that'll be a great drinking game, everybody. If you want to get hammered, just watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, make the rules, and you'll be trashed for life.
There
And
you
it's
go.
funny, I always thought I would like to see a fight between Michael Myers and Leatherface. I don't know why.
That'd
I
be
just always
interesting.
thought to see that. Because in
Well, now, what
reality,
do you call it? They can probably do it since what's his name? Leatherface is supernatural now. He can take a
apparently he's
chainsaw to the
supernatural,
gut
yeah. So that would be
and take
kind
a
of
few
cool to
bullets.
see. Yeah, because I know,
But
like,
honestly, Michael Myers would still win because when that last movie, did you see that last one?
yes,
The
I did.
HBO
Yes.
Max one? He's basically invincible. He's a Terminator.
Oh,
Just-
I don't know where that happened. He was supposed to be a regular human being as well. He's literally just
Right,
a human being who killed
right.
somebody, which is weird. Which makes to me it made way more perfect sense because it's like Michael Myers, Leatherface. They're not supernatural. They're human beings. Maybe they have a couple, special skills, and it'll be nice to see them use those special skills against each other. You know what I mean? A knife versus a
Right, like a Freddy
chainsaw.
versus
No.
Jason, but what do you call it?
Yes, like the human
Psycho
version
killers.
though. Yeah, like it's like
Super
okay, we get to finally
supernatural
see.
psycho killers.
So actually would have been cool to see that, honestly. Also, fun fact, everybody, for the Freddy vs. Jason, originally Pinhead from Hellraiser was supposed to make a quick appearance at a post-credit scene. From what I remember in the interview, not Leatherface, what am I talking about? Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees were in hell fighting, and they get interrupted by Pinhead asking them what seems to be the problem which will be really interesting to see. That would be because he's Hell's Warden apparently, so that would have been really interesting. And then another fun fact on top of that fun fact, Candyman was supposed to make his rounds against Pinhead.
Oh wow! All right, that's a
Yeah,
huge.
and
That's a
I don't
twist.
know
All
what
right.
happened. That would have been interesting to see because they were both pretty much sent to hell. I mean, so it would have been interesting to see that as well. But I guess they didn't really go with it because I don't think they made a good script. They couldn't find a good writer, a good story for that. So they're like, you know what, let's just forget it.
Right. Well, what do you call it? Shared universes back then were, still unheard of.
Yeah, that's
It
when
wasn't as
like
common as it is today, but
yeah,
it's
now
just
today it's like
Marvel leading the charge on that.
yeah, now crossovers are like a well-known thing right now. So it's
Right.
like, so now, that would be fun. But yeah, so I think we're about to wrap it up, folks. So this is Oscar Basil Micro.
It's Mark70, guys. Thanks for watching our deep spoiler review on pretty crappy movie.
Well, all right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a good night. All right.